Alongside Rob Lewis, I'm Austin Price. 2-minute drill after Tennessee's season opening win over Colorado. Rob, your overall impressions? Tennessee jumps out 19-4. Had a kind of struggled middle part of the game, and then they go on to win by close to double digits on a not great but solid night to kick off the season.
I think it's a really good night for him. I mean, it was kind of what I expected. What we talked about it on the podcast, disjointed, sloppy at times. You mentioned the hot start, and then Colorado throws a zone at them. Really flummoxed Tennessee. They they got stagnant on offense. Couldn't find their rhythm, and I really feel like that. And Coach Barnes even touched on it in his post-game comments. I think that was one area where you saw them really get hurt by not having played 4 games and by not practicing for 11 days. Probably didn't have something to install. Hadn't brushed up on the zone, and that really showed up. But defensively, man, they were lights out. I mean, Colorado shot 33% for the game. Tennessee forced 20-plus turnovers, turned those into 16 points. And, I think a lot of people, including Rick, felt like they had a chance to be special defensively this year with their length, with their athleticism, with their depth. And I thought you could see a glimpse of that tonight.
Yeah, they hold Colorado to 47 points. Offensively, Victor Bailey made a couple of big shots in the first half that kind of gave Tennessee some spacing. The Scovey ends up with a game tying high with 11, and same with John Fulkerson, and he hit some outside shots. Overall impressions of the new guys?
I think and Coach said this yesterday and reiterated tonight. The young guys are the ones that were most affected by the missing 11 days of practice, and then having 3 days to get ready for this game tonight, and really just 2 days once it was on the schedule, once they knew that they had this opponent. And that was reflected in their minutes. Keon Johnson played 13 minutes. Jaden Springer played 9. And despite the depth, you had 4 guys play 30-plus minutes. And Coach talked about on the post game that, as the young guys get more acclimated, you're really going to see their minutes go up and the veterans' minutes go down. I think I'll be surprised if many nights, once the new kids get comfortable, you're going to see guys play 35 plus like you saw with Bailey, and I think Eves too tonight as well.
And as we wrap up, on the whole, I think a team just happy to get the season tipped off. I mean, let's face it, it's kind of been a delay, then another delay. They've had games canceled. I think just everybody just happy to have this one tipped off, right?
Oh, yeah, without question. We talked to a couple of guys after the game, and that was, definitely their sentiment. After everything that they've been through. I mean, Victor Bailey was one of the post-game interviews, and that's a kid that, sat out a transfer year and then chomping at the bit to play, and then has to sit out, a month of this season. So a lot of excitement. It was a weird environment in Thompson-Boling Arena, but it wasn't as sterile as I was afraid it would be. I mean, there was still some energy in the building despite the drastically reduced crowds. And you could see the kids were just without question ready to go, excited for the season to start, and I think that showed up on the court.
For Rob Lewis from a victorious Thompson-Boling Arena, I'm Austin Price. This has been the Tennessee 2-minute drill. Tennessee gets a win on opening night of their 2020 and 2021 basketball season.